Training statics every day in calisthenics. This is the second episode, but not the second day. This is already the second month, and I believe we are at day 8 now. And yeah, I asked you guys yesterday on my Instagram what kind of topics you want me to talk about in this episode, besides my own training, of course. And the best one I got, in my opinion, or the one that I got asked a lot of times before already, is forearm pain. In planche specifically, or in pushing exercises. Why does it happen, and why do we get it, and how can we get it away? Before I get into that, let's quickly recap today's workout. Like I said, it's the second month of training statics every day. And I started with my training with the planche, with the straddle planche as always. My goal for today's training session was getting into the correct form, which is why my holds are a lot shorter than usually, but a lot cleaner than usually. What I changed was the kind of entrance that I did into my planche. Usually I enter it from a V-sit or an I-sit, whatever you want to call it. I go into the V-sit and then I go into the planche. This makes it a lot easier because you can start with your hips on whatever position you want them to be. And the thing that I did was have my hips a little bit higher, which of course is not the cleanest form, but you can train with it, get your seconds up until you're strong enough to have your hips lower. And I figured the time has come, so it is time to do the lean entrance with the hips lower. So this is what I did today, and the maximum I reached was too low in my opinion, about 2.5 seconds. So I entered it into a combo. So not just doing that, but doing that for 2.5 seconds, around that, and then going to the V-sit and then holding the regular planche. And holding that for like 5 seconds or something. And with the regular planche, I mean just the form that I had before. Yeah, so that's the stuff that I did in planche. And another thing where I made some progress today was the one-arm handstand, especially my activation and my wrist pain, in question mark, wrist pain, because today there was no wrist pain. Yeah, so what do I mean with that? I talked in yesterday's episode roughly about what's up with my wrists. I have 2 wrist bones grown together in my left wrist, and that is giving me some pain every once in a while. And I had some problems with my meniscus on my right side, and it's completely gone now. So that means I can finally train on the floor again, which I did, completely painless. And I actually had a lot more control on the floor than I had on the parallels, surprisingly, because usually is the other way around. And that's the reason for my progress that I got there today. The holds was about 2 to 3 seconds. But what mattered for me is the feeling of going into it and the feeling while being into it. For the parallels, it was more like a random thing, random drop into the hold and random quickly getting the other arm off and then just trying to hold it but not succeeding. And on the floor, it felt more like actually flying and controlling the movement rather than just quickly entering it. Let's continue with the topic that I picked out for the day, because regarding the other stuff of my workout, I will let it play through, but there's nothing more changed in that. The other stuff was roughly the same as on yesterday, so nothing new there. So forearm pain on planche, why do we get it? First question. The forearm pain that I'm talking about, that a lot of people experience, especially in the beginning of their planche journey, is happening on the underside, which is called the ulnar side of the arm. So in the muscles that attach around the ulnar side, the side where the ulnar bone is. Those muscles usually in our day-to-day life aren't very active because they do not work against gravity in a lot of positions. Just imagine it. You're holding your hand up straight in front of you and you're holding something in your hand. In that position, the radial abductors are working, which is the muscles on the radial side of your forearm, which means the side that your thumb is. But the muscles that are on the side where your pinky finger is, they never work against gravity. So they are really not used to getting a lot of load. Now you're entering the planche and you're doing it on parallels. Now these muscles have to work. And the sole reason why you get this pain is you're just progressing too fast. Those muscles are not used to working under load. And now you're putting them under a lot of load. Of course, they're going to be irritated. And another question that I got was, how do I fix it? Well, it's pretty simple. Rest it out until the acute pain goes away. Then train again until you get strong enough for those muscles to not overreact. And that's really it. If those muscles are strong enough, there's no reason for them to overreact, inflame, or anything. But you have to give them time to recover, time to strengthen. Because muscles strengthen while you're resting. Resting doesn't mean not training. If it did, this podcast would not exist. But resting just means not doing this exercise that is giving you pain or doing a lower intensity of it. And that's pretty much it. Of course, there are fancy things like stretching the muscles or isolating the muscles. All of them are great. You can isolate the muscle once the acute pain is gone and strengthen it that way. And you can also stretch the muscle while the pain is still a little bit there, but that doesn't change the one important thing. Rest until the acute pain is gone. Otherwise, you're just going to make it worse. You can only do some pain reduction measures in that time, but everything else has to wait. If there's actually pain, rest the pain out. And that's a very simple answer to a very common question in this sport. I would call it a day. That's the question that I wanted to talk about today. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you have some more questions or another topic that you want me to talk about tomorrow or on another day, leave me the suggestion down in the comments. And I would love to, if you subscribe to my channel, leave a like and share the video maybe with your friends, some other people that are interested in calisthenics. And of course, like we did yesterday, I just wanted to take the end of the video in order to do a little advertisement for myself, because I am not only a calisthenics practitioner, I'm also a trainer, and I'm also studying physiotherapy, always expanding my knowledge and always expanding my knowledge on how to train my clients. So if you are someone that are experimenting with the thoughts of starting with calisthenics, then I highly suggest you check out my website, Levisthenics.com, and get on my coaching and read yourself through the stuff, what I offer, what price I offer it at, and hopefully it's something for you and you can start your calisthenics journey alongside with me. I will see you in the next episode tomorrow. Sorry. I will see you in the next episode tomorrow.